Ngibingelela makhaya. I am sorry to have to do this again. Ngoba izolo bengenzele le video. Kanti usathana venomona yazi. I don't know if it's a good thing. Ngasho ukuthi ngokuhle bayo ukuthi this video it deletekile because or it didn't post because khona ade bengeke baze bayibone. Ngifaka bayibone namhlanje or kanye ngasho ukuthi hayi khona isilingo ade sikhona so ade befanele ingabonakali le video lena. So ngaba I think it just depends on your view ukuthi whether you are a cup half full or a cup half empty kind of a person. But ke sesayiphinda ke le video njengoba sikhuluma ngayo ukuthi there's no target market eDlozini. Njengoba ngichaza nje izolo ukuthi I think this video kakhulu for me is super sensitive in the sense that the rules that I think people don't understand is Zangoma and inyanga are held to different rules and are held to different levels of Latin authority, so to speak. Izangoma ngokwendalo are people that are very nurturing, are people that abanozwelo. You'll find that ngokudalwa a lot of people that are izangoma are very very emotional. Abantu abanozwelo kakhulu, abantu abasensitive ngalendlela, abantu that overextend themselves in order to umuntu asizakale. They're not selfish people by nature. And then inyanga isikhathi esiningi, and it's not that I'm saying all of them are like that, because by any means this is not a case of everybody is going to be painted with the same brush kind of situation, no. But predominantly ngokwaziyo inyanga were people that just gave you what you needed irregardless of consequences. So for example, moya enyangeni and you tell them yazini khona umuntu okuhlaselayo kanje and udinga umuthi ukuzivikela. Isikhathi esiningi they would give you lowo muthi loyo without asking questions or saying ukuthi njengoba uthi uyakuhlasela ukuhlaselelani, or try to understand what the situation is. They'd be like, okay, udinga uzivikela, hayi yabona ke lo muthi lo uzoshaya uvale yabo ngekukwenzeke lutho whatever. So they've always been people that kind of were asked no questions. And again, a disclaimer, I'm not saying everybody, because nasizangomeni by nature they're supposed to be people that are very sensitive, abanozwelo, that are very helpful, that like to overextend themselves in order to umuntu izinto zakhe ilunge by nature. But esikhathini samanje mobheka, a lot of them are not like that. So kunokuphambana sometimes. And I'm explaining this because I want you guys to understand ukuthi where my frustration is coming from and where and why this is such a sensitive thing, especially for me. Njoba namgi sangoma. Njoba ngichazula ukuthi we are held to different laws. Emgomeni, there are things that by law we cannot do. And when I say by law, not by law of this world, by law of umsamyetu, and the kind of people from the beginning of time that we were meant to be, or supposedly are. And I'm explaining this so that you can have an understanding of why lento ukuthi khona izangoma as a target market ingibangelulaga so much. Number one, when I say there's no target market eDlozini, is because by nature there are people that will come to you for help, and when they come to you, they have nothing, because into zabo zivalelekile ngalendlela, into zabo zicindezelekile ngalendlela, into zabo zibophekile ngalendlela, and they coming to you so that uzokwazi ukuthi ubalekelele and understand why it is the way it is, so that you're able to help them and ubavulele indlela ikuhlahleke indlela emhlophe yabo. So they come to you with nothing in order to come out with something, and so impilo yabo can that was off track can start to go accordingly. Bafika phi esangomeni for that, because umuntu oyisangoma uyabona, uyaprofetha, uyakwazi ukuthi ashise impepha abone ukuthi no, wena uhlushwe ukuthi and kuzinto zakho ilunge, you need to do this. They can see those things. They are all seeing. So njoba kunjalo, when somebody comes and they have those situations, but if I'm saying and they have no money, they have no means to be able to, to get assistance, and you help them. Bear in mind, eDlozini hlezi ikweleto, hlezi kunezikweleto eDlozini. Ikweleto ezingapheli. You help them in the intent ukuthi nabo ba understand ukuthi njoba ngikusiza, understand ukuthi what your situation is, and I'm hoping ukuthi njoba senza kanje, it's to be able to open into zakho khona uzobuya backing mina, uzongishela, uzokhanyisa, so to speak. And abantu abaningi nowadays, they tend to, because they know that, especially abantu abanemali, they tend to have a lot of problems. Jokingly, what do they say? But more money, more problems. That's what usually happens. Because they are used to living a certain kind of lifestyle, they can't go back. So izinto zabo mekuthi zihlangahlangene azicacile, they tend to go to abantu abalaphayo to get that assistance. And when amekuthi usujwayela ukuthi yazini mhlawumbe uthola ukuthi unenhlanhla ukuthi uphike ukuthi ulapha abantu vele abanemali, and you try to take advantage of that and you start charging ridiculous amounts to the point where umuntu mayifika kuwena enganalutho, you no longer assist them because wazi ukuthi wena ucharge 15,000. This is where I start to lose my shits, because I understand ukuthi lo 15,000 one, especially when umuntu ophila ngeDlozi, because iDlozi likuvulela kakhulu, because liyazi ukuthi you only survive on assisting people, you only survive on umsebenzi wethonga. So njoba uphila ngomsebenzi wethonga, they make sure iDlozi lenza sure ukuthi nje abantu bayeza kuwena, abantu bayathola usizo kuwena. And then when ubona ukuthi ngoba vele you're a sought after sangoma, or a sought after umthandazo, ukuthi fanele uqale manje ucharge izinto ridiculous to the point where umuntu onganalutho uba novalo ukuza kuwena. Like, I think I explained this yesterday ukuthi a few days ago I had usisi, I think she's about 35 years old, obehlene ilwane because izwile ukuthi kuyabiza emngomeni, kuyabiza, abantu balapha bayabiza, and at the time she couldn't afford it, but then izinto started going really, really bad. So now besephoqwa isimo, and somebody had told her that I could help her. So I feel and it's just like, what I wanted to understand, ukuthi njoba siyabiza, are we the ones that are actually causing abantu now to not want to come to us because we're so expensive? We are unaffordable. A few years ago, where I lived, there was umakhelwane wami, and yena, he was telling me a story. He was actually a lawyer. Umele actually waziwayo, and very educated, very well achieved, nje ube right in all senses of the word. And if I could tell you ukuthi ehlanyiswa abantu ayesebenza nabo bamthumelela ngelwane nekhafula and all these things, ubone wange ngayifuna ikhafula, but bemthumelela ngelezo zinto lezo wagcina esehlanya hamba ecosha amaphepha. He lost title deeds in imizi yakhe, he lost all his cars. Till this day he has no idea where anything is and how he lost everything. He has no recollection of all of it. And uzothola umuntu olaphayo wamlapha ehlanya enjalo, wamlapha kanti lo muntu olaphayo akazi ukuthi ulapha umuntu vele oneyimali. And when he went back to started working again, wamtshela futhi ukuthi angabisaphindela la asebenza khona, akathola omunye umsebenzi. Nangempela uthola omunye umsebenzi, and wabuya back wamnika imfanekeliso zakhe lo muntu ade lapha. And there are a lot of people like that have stories like that, where they didn't have the means when they started their journey of izinto zedlozi, whether uyalashwa ukuthi unelwane or ulashwa ukuthi buhlanya or whatever the case may be that leads you to umuntu olaphayo. There are a lot of people that have stories like that. I have a story like that, where I used to have clients and I was making anything from 20, like the least that I made was about 20k a month, and I'd make 50k a month or 60, 70, 80,000 rand a month. At 21 years old, I was making a lot of money, and by the time I was saying eDlozini, so I had lost everything. I remember I had one pair of pants that I had, and little blue, I wish I had it because I wanted to keep it as a souvenir, to remind me of his intention. So when I got into eDlozini, I had nothing. One pair of pants, I think I had about like 2 or 3 t-shirts, one of which was my mother's t-shirt, and that's how I don't even know how I paid for all the things, but what was enzakala zona, and I was able to hlangana imali ngikwazi ukuthi ngiphehlelwe ukhamba lami and pay for it. But I was lucky ukuthi kwahlangana imali. There are people, I know ukuthi one of my spiritual sisters awangena ethongweni uthi yena wavumbuka endlini yenyanga owathwasa kuyona, and yamesela inkamba, and she has no idea how she got there. She has no idea ukuthi walandwa kanjani. Like she can't remember not one thing. And she's one of many stories. Like I said, I have another sister of mine who's actually a lesbian. And ama anda, and she was a girl, and ibhluka ngena msamo when umuntu etonga ibhluka njalo ngena emsami. So when in the middle of the night wahamba wazwafika esangomeni la izothwasa khona, ehanje ekhunyuliswa amabhlukwe, ekhunyuliswa everything that she had on. While they actually thought ukuthi they thought that ukuthi bengena isigebengu, kanti meanwhile it was just umuntu odinga ukuzothwasa. eDlozini does that. They bring people to you that are meant to get assistance from you. And if that happens, how the hell are you going to say to somebody, ukuthi, in order for me, ukuthi ngimisele inkamba, fanele ungikhiphele 3,000, otherwise, ngikwenze le lento. Like, people for me, like, makes me feel like, uthwasile but shuto nalitongo. Because there's no way itongo is designed to be money first and help second. Mo muntu olaphayo. And again, I'm not speaking to inyanga, because labantu laba imvamisa ukhipha imithi and give you what you need, and then you go about your way. I'm talking abantu that ofika uthi uzohlola kubona bashisa impepho bahlole, or uthola uthi bayathandaza bahlole. However that they do it, abantu abayizangoma abadaliwe ukuthi no, I first see what yini ekuhluphayo and then tell you how to fix learn or how to navigate that situation. I'm speaking about those people. Labo bantu laba are usually bathola abantu that are from every single background, whether uyahlupheka or richy or you in the middle. You usually find if people from all those kinds of backgrounds that come to you. There's not one specific person that umlapayo. Like for me, I've had a Ford Ranger come eScotland sami ezothola usizo. I've had umuntu driver a Mercedes come to eScotland sami azothola usizo. I've had somebody who I'm going, actually ngizoba ngimisele inkamba right now ngimthwasisa, who's gonna pay me in chickens. Do you understand? Who's gonna pay me in livestock, because abana mali kubo. They're not wealthy people, but banazi inkukhu. So they're gonna pay me in livestock, and then masese pothula uzongikhokhela ngembuzi. because now if I charge you, I tell them the fee and then they pay me in the value of that. So if the amount that if it costs it's the amount that you would pay for 2 chickens, then mazongkhokhela 2 chickens. Masepotula, if the amount I give is at value of 3 chickens, then they pay me in 3 chickens. Idlozi lenza into kanjalo alikhethile because sidali ukuthi siyakha asichithi, we help people, we heal people, we heal nations. And if we heal nations, how the hell are we going to heal a nation with not everybody has 15,000 rand? Not everybody has that. Not everybody has 20,000. Not everybody can buy you a car. That's not how it works. I'm sorry, I'm going to speak about somebody that told me, Guti, and they work at a very, bougie place. And they told me, Guti, in their dream, they were at work, and bebe patazelenge nyawo. It was a whole long dream, and Guti, when somebody gave, utufike ngamahile msebenzini. Mefika ngamahile msebenzini, wakunyuliswa, she doesn't remember taking off her shoes. But metu ya bega, usehamba ngenyawo. Jalapo, everybody wasn't looking at her weird. Everybody was okay with it. And so one of the staff members was Asingakhohlwa wamnike icathulo. Methu uyayithatha uyayigqoka asayiboni lezo icathulo. And I tell her, no, your ancestors are trying to take you to basics. They're not saying ukuthi ngeke usayigqoka lezo zinto lezo, but they're saying to you, this is what they need from you right now. If I had to show you guys my feed right now, you guys would be shook because everywhere I go, the malls that I go to is Galleria and Mazim Toti Arbor Crossing. So in Zabelung, there's still predominantly white people here. When I go there, and if somebody says some shit to me, I have very bougie English, hey? Ek praat net 'n bietjie Afrikaans, maar Afrikaans so swak, maar ek praat Afrikaans. Ek verstaan wat jy sê met my. So I know these languages. So I speak sign language, so ayikho into ngizothi khona la ngilekha khona, but because idlozi lami lathi no sibadala and we don't want this, I have a whole sneaker collection that I only wear when I have to go to into ehlangane nomsebenzi wami wesilungu. But other than that, as soon as when I'm done in the meeting and I get into the car, ngiyayikhumula icathulo, because that's what they require of me. They need me to be natural. If I can tell you le miyeko le ukuthi I've had them for almost a year now, and my hair is growing, and instead of it getting loose, it's getting tighter. This is what they require of me. They require of me ukuthi ngibe as basic as they come, as how they intended. But it doesn't mean to say that nami izinhle ngeke ngize ngibe nazo, or that I don't have to ngiphathe iPhone or kube khona imoto or ngigqoka amahili. It's just saying that when we need you to be in our state, then you need to be in our state. And if amadlozi can do that and take you to basics, that's trying to teach you that don't be umuntu that's attached to worldly things. Because when you're attached to worldly things, it makes you ukuthi ngisho ugcina ungasabacabangela abantu, ugcina usucabanga ukuthi no, yazini abantu bazuthi ngisangoma esidrive A-class or ngisangoma esidrive isilahla or ngisangoma esidrive Porsche. I need to maintain that lifestyle. Ngisangoma esihlala emhlanga, I need to maintain that lifestyle. And the only way to do that is to make sure ukuthi abantu ngibacharge these ridiculous amounts because they bahluphekile. Dude, like when I think about ukuhlupheka kwami mina and how embarrassing it was. Exactly. Thank you, Gogo. It's proper greediness. Ukuhlupheka kwami kunzima, and when I think of it, it brings me to tears because I'm like, do people not understand? Ukuthi I didn't just wake up one day and decide, you know what, ngikhalela ukuba isangoma, Hey, kunemali laphana, it's a career. It was not a career option for me. It was not something that I woke up and felt like, you know what, iyabulawa imali laphana, let me go join that. Something that abefundisi abaningi are actually doing now. Ukuthi, you know what, iningi imali kahle kahle emasontweni. So let me go be umfundisi. This isn't like that. This is something that you are born with, that at some points the dead comes knocking and saying, no, uyasikweleta fanele uthwase or fanele ulapha abantu. And if you are meant to help nations, how are you going to help when people aren't the same? People don't come from the same background. The very thing my mother-in-law, Mama Zalom Jobe Sangoma naye, she was telling me the other day ukuthi khona isangoma esifikile sithi sayo bethela kumunye umuzi. When ngathi siyobethela wacela ukuthi azomsiza, wathi no, uzomkhanyisela ukuthi uyomsiza lapho, because apparently the house was really, really huge. Mathu uyezwa imali ayichargile, I think she charged about what, 25,000 some change. Imali lapho ukubethela umuzi. And people don't explain the terms and conditions of things like that when you are protecting your house, or nawe mozo uzigcaba and things like that. Lezo zinto ziyavuselelwa every year. How many times when you pay the 25,000? And what if kufika umuntu ohlala ku 4-room or RDP, lo muntu didn't build that house, they don't have the money ukubethela leyo ndlu ngo 25,000. They are barely scraping by. And when uzothi no, ubethela ngo 25, umuntu athi ubethela ngo 7,000. Like, what is it? Like, I understand imithi iyabiza. Like, I know that, and I'm sure Gogo, you're aware as well. Imithi iyabiza. But I think that's why a lot of things I'm grateful for, ukuthi njoba ngaphupha ngikhonjiswa emgababa and where I need to be staying here. A lot of things lana ngiyakwazi ukuthi ngingene ehlathini ngizikhe and get it straight from the root. Ngilapha. But there are other things that obviously are a speciality kufanele ukuthi ngiyithole inyangeni or get it from other people. Lezinto lezo, especially imithi lehlangane nokulapha ilwane, I need to get that from other people. And depending on how severe your situation is, then it shows ukuthi okay, nanku umuthi efana nguthole. Like for example, amafutha enyoka, because it's such or amafutha ebhubesi, you know, those things are rare. You can't just get it anywhere. So obviously Leonto is going to be expensive. That I can understand. But not ukuthi uthathe into that is a basic thing. Njengokuzohlola. Uthi when uhlola ngo 300 rand. What is it that is 300 rand? If when uhlolela abantu about 10 today, that means ukuthi you've made 3 grand. Yes, no, I understand what you say, but it's what they do, and that's what just like defeats me. Yes, khona izinto zobiza, and that's not an issue. You know, you can charge accordingly. Uyazi wena ukuthi if you made 1,000 or 500 rand from that as a profit, you've reached your profit margin. Ngoba manje sikhulunywa kanje sengine profit margin. Ungazi ukuthi profit margin yaseDlozini iqhamukaphi. And people do love money, and and of which I don't understand, because at the end of the day, people don't come to us anymore because we charge so much, and even worse, when you're doing things like this. And I promise you, there are people that can attest to this. But the problem is, because people don't like to show. If you're not in this to do umsebenzi wetonga, you're not in this to do what was intended for you to do as umuntu isangoma, as umuntu lapha, as umuntu netonga. And when I say liakshia, it's not, it just packs up and leaves. It stops speaking to you. It stops communicating. So all these dreams you used to have, all these things that's why it's because there's that thing, they've lost that thing that used to make them, there was a light that they had and they no longer have, because asafunu communicate nayo, because lo muntu is not here for me. Lo muntu is just doing izinto ukunotha. Kanti mina ngokucharge 100 rand ukuhlola, and if I see 10 people today, that's 1,000 rand. If I see 10 people every single day until the end of the month, I've made 30,000 rand. Isiphi isidingo ukuthi mina ngilambele umuntu? If mekwenzekile ukuthi ngihlolela umuntu anakanawo lo 100 rand, akabeka okunakho. If bekile u20 rand, then that's fine. I'm not saying go and take advantage of abantu abahlolayo. That's not what I'm saying. But it's just saying ukuthi the people that uthola ukuthi they don't have. How do you expect ukuthi lo muntu loyo akunike zonke imfanekeliso zakhe? Why don't you now test amandla akho ukuthi no, 100% uzothola umsebenzi uzokholela kahle, and say pay me half now. If you charge to do something and it's 500 rand, ngikhokhela u250 manje, and then masisebenzile izinto zakho seyikhanya ubuye uhlula yini ukwenza lokho if ubona ukuthi no nginawo amandla, idlozi lami lizofika, ngeke ngingafike lingakhanyisi. Lizokhuluma. You don't, there's no need to do extend all of this. And I would love to engage with people that are charging excessively. I'd like to understand. And when I say charging excessively, angikhulumi ngendaba ye products. If you're selling a product, I don't care if your product is 800 rand, 1,000 rand, 50,000 rand, it doesn't matter, because a product is a product. Jobu suku ngena stolo, wayothenga leya jacket yaka Levi's 5,000, or leyo jacket yaka Louis Vuitton, that's a product. I'm not speaking about that. I'm speaking about mozo ngena esigodlweni, ufuna umuntu ukuthi enze umsebenzi. Yes, I'll save this live. Gogo. If uzongene esigodlweni somuntu, I'm talking about that. Don't ningahambi kubantu zangoma ezidayisa ama products nithi you guys shouldn't be selling it at this price. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Because ukudayisa product is just something that uthola ukuthi you gifted, ukuthi uyakwazi ukuhlanganisa iwasho or uyakwazi ukuhlanganisa imithi and do a product that's going to help somebody on an everyday basis. That's not an issue. There's a product that I had a dream to afana ngihlanganise ngenze to help abantu, especially those that don't have the capability okwamanje ukufika endaweni kanje, because I stay mgababa, I stay like proper inside la kuyi farm khona la. If I had to like show you guys like iplaza, you know, uthola ukuthi kodwa banedliso, like they've had dreams of ukudla izinto, or they've had like sexual dreams or whatever the case may be, and bafuna ukuphalaza ngakho nje ukuthi ngihlanganisa umuthi kanjani and help that nomuthi okuchatha and whatever, and make it like a amalon kube amabhodlela u4 in the box. So ngikhonjisiwe leyo nto leyo, and I'm gonna sell it, and I'll sell it at 200 rand. And I know ukuthi khona umuntu out there in the corner of the bundles who's gonna wake up and be like, you know what, yazini mina, I know rich people that can buy this product at 500 rand, of which they can do it. I don't care, because at the end of the day into ngifuna mina ukuthi abantu maybe laphekile, because I know a lot of people that are always, they tell me every day ukuthi bayasaba ukuza endaweni kanje because they don't like people assuming ubathakatha, of which again that has me lost for words. Ukuthi guys, isinto sakini siyanhlula. There are white people that are out here abayizangoma, of which that is a topic for another day. But there are white people out here abayizangoma, abasebenzisa isinto sethu, abasebenzisa impande zethu, nyayizwa lonto, impande zethu esakhonjiswa zona abayisebenzisayo, abafaka ubuhlali bethu. Mina lo buhlali guys, there's blue missing, ukhona ebusami ngisazofaka, so there's supposed to be 3 colors. Lobuhlali lobo ngabujulukela, lobuhlabu lo ngabukhiphela inyembezi, lobuhlali lo I bled for it. I didn't just wake up and get it like easy like that and things were fine. I bled, I cried, I lost family. I was stripped in order to kufaka lobuhlali. I don't do it to decorate my body. Ngifakile lobuhlali not for beauty purposes. But there are white people out here abafaka ubuhlali bethu, abasebenzisa impande zethu, uyayibona. And they go, I was on an airplane. I'll never forget, it was October. Ngisebhanoyini eliyeGoli. And when I got into the plane, there was a white guy ofake full ingubo zomngoma, full ingubo zomngoma, waguqa phansi wathi thokoza gogo kumina, white guy. Kodwa nina abantu abamnyama nisaba ukungena ezigodlweni ngoba kuzothiwa niyathakatha, nina abantu abamnyama nisaba ukusebenzisa imithi ngoba it's beneath you. impande zokuphila. Nazi ukuthi manje abanye that I know abantu abawoglama outsha abasebedayisa umhlonyane, but when I was going through Twasa, these people wanted nothing to do with my lifestyle. Kodwa sebekwazi ukuthi ngoba nakho sekuyaba benefits njoba kuyicorona, sekuyaba benefits ukudayisa imithi ebhala umhlonyana and whatever else that now they're going back ukuthi yazini we can benefit through isizulu. Kodwa there are people out here that are seeing that lento is beneath them. Kodwa nabo abantu abelungu bayazuza ngayo lento le nini ningayifuni. Nilahla isintu senu, nilahla isizulu senu, nilahla amasiko enu because you're trying to be white. When white people are understanding, and guys, if I can tell you how many white people esengibalapile, how many white people abezwe igodleni, how many white colored and Indians abahamba izinto zesizulu, and you guys are wearing heels, wearing weaves, and there's nothing wrong with wearing a heel and a weave, but you walk around saying ukudla inyama ehlatshiwe. Oh my gosh, like how do you even do that? No, guys, like isiNgisami is within. It's proper. It's from a white school, from grade, like literally. But you walk around trying to be these people that have no interest in you guys being like them when they are trying to be like us. If I don't know how many of y'all ICC. Khona ihlahla ijaliwa around ICC. Lezo ihlahla lezo, it's actually ihlahla evimba izulu from going in. So when amangasuka khona leso sihlahla lapho uzositshala egcekeni umuntu umethu ukuthumelela ngezulu ngeke lize lingene izulu. Abelungu bayazi mithi. Abelungu basiyekisa amasiko ethu because they understand the power of impande. They understand the power of ukuthi ngaza amasiko asekhaya. They understand ukuthi mengithi ngiyokha lewa muthi loyana into zami zizoqaqeka ngohlelo. Baya understand ukuthi mengiyempophomeni ngithi ngiyokhanyisa ngeshumi, ngithela utshwala besizulu lapha yana, ngibiza abantu bakithi ukuthi into zami zizoqaqeka ngendlela engayi understand. Bayazi leyo nto abelungu. Sike sibafica empophomeni, mina ngangabafica abelungu empophomeni. Kodwa nina abantu abamnyama nifuni lezinto. Mina even mengiphalaza, if mekuthi ngivuka manje ngo9 ukuthi no yazini ukuthi angiphalaza, ngiyaphalaza, like I have no shame. If mina I decide ukuthi at 10 o'clock or 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the morning ngishaya isigubhu sami, then that's what I do. Ngahamba mina, and I promise you, if you've seen my old pictures and you go through khona la ngangiya ko Vodacom ngifake ngishuqulile into ezisulu nganginuka phuhlu impepho phuhlu. Lathi India at the Vodacom head offices in Mhlanga. Lathi India kumina, oh my gosh, were you guys braaiing this weekend? You smell like a braai. Ngathi no, it's not a braai, impepho. What's that? It's like incense but for black people. Impepho. If somebody is going to deal with you, they're going to deal with you. Understand ukuthi why are we so ashamed of who we are? This is the time, guys, to reflect. This is the time to go back to basics. This is the time ukuthola imvelaphi yakho, because that's why sifa kangaka. That's why all these people abaloko kuthiwa bathole corona in abantu abamnyama, no, ngoba ngquma niphalaza niwazi amasiko akini. Kuthiwa nyawazi mina siyazi corona la mgababa baqhuba bayaphalaza abantu la asiyazi corona. If I go to Emzimkhulu, the people that abagcina amasiko lapha yana pa Mama Zala's house, yabo abayazi corona, bathi yini yona leyo nto. They don't even know not one person with the corona. If you go to amakhaya nanka amanye embumbulu abantu abagquma abaphalaza abayazi ukuthi yini leyo nto leyo. So yini thina sihlulayo to understand who we are. Anvukeni anphaphameni abelungu bathatha into zethu because we are giving it away for free. Sayilahla thina sithi sisindisiwe. No one's saying ukuthi God does not exist. No one's saying mina everything I do I pray first to uNkulunkulu, because uyanonya inyanga ephethe zonke inyanga ezulwini nasemhlabeni. I pray. Angilahle spirituality, angilahle ayikho into yami ehlangana nomthandazo engiyilahlile. But understand it goes hand in hand. Musukulahla amasiko akini. And understand ukuthi if you open your mind and uvulele knowledge and do research about this, you'd understand ukuthi khona ukuphila lana. But anyway, I've gone on long enough. I appreciate ukuthi nibuke masikhulisaneni. If you yes, I'm still going to do the Q&A a little bit later though, but ngicela ukuthi ke se-engage njengabantu abalaphayo sisebancane, and people don't understand ukuthi ezinye izinto zizolahleka because sisebancane, and we're not trying to broaden ourselves and understand properly isimo sethu ngisimo somuntu omdala, and isilokhu sifuna siyathwasa but sisafuna izinto zasemhlabeni, instead of understanding ukuthi sesingene ethongweni and izinto zasemhlabeni they will follow, but ultimately into ebalekile ukuthi makulashwe. Nithokoze ekhaya, and yes, I'm going to save this live. Please watch, please share. Sikhulisaneni nje understand ukuthi siqhamukaphi sabantu. Niphile ekhaya.